So, over a year ago, I was gushing about an upcoming cooking RPG called Chef RPG. It's my most watched video to date.
Nice.
Chef RPG's alpha has finally made its way to the Kickstarter backers, and I'm very excited to be finally walking around White Ash Harbor. What? What did I do? Hopefully their moods improve once I feed them gourmet food from my restaurant. So, alright, let's get distracted. So a quick little recap of what Chef RPG is. This is a game where you're a traveling chef given the task of reviving La Sequoia, a once famous restaurant in White Ash Harbor, and you begin your new life in this beautiful seaside town which was once a thriving tourist destination. The game's centerpiece is that you need to actually gather your ingredients. Most of the time you need to hunt, harvest, or shop for your ingredients, but exploration and gathering your ingredients in the wild is something that the game encourages. And aside from reviving La Sequoia, which is the restaurant that your mentor gave to you, you also have options to run other restaurants and choose different types of operations for them, like restaurant, tea house, social house, a pub, a confectionery. Each of them gives you different perks and requires different slates of menu. And it's an idea that I love because it really makes you feel like you're building a restaurant because you need to go through the menu as well and decorating your restaurant and hiring your staff, that sort of thing. But of course, this is still an alpha, so there are many things here that are still very rough around the edges. Not just around the edges, but the entire thing sometimes. What stood out to me in my first Chef RPG playthrough is the balancing towards opening your restaurant. I found myself halfway through the month realizing that I haven't cooked or operated my restaurant in this cooking RPG because I need to collect enough funds to fix the floor, which initially cost an arm and a limb. An arm and a leg? I think it's an arm and a leg, your arm is also a limb. Yeah, okay. Because I need to collect enough funds to fix the floor, which initially cost an arm and a leg, buy furniture and appliances, and gather enough ingredients. A friend of mine told me that this was realistic in order to open your restaurant. It takes a while, and I 100% agree. But since cooking was heavily in the marketing of the game, it might feel to some that they didn't get what they initially came for, and I shared this sentiment to the developers in their Discord. And the devs do realize this and have done some tweaks to improve the pace of the opening of the restaurant, reducing the cost of fixing floors and also giving multiple floor options with different prices was a huge step in the right direction. Noah, the project lead for Chef RPG, also mentioned in the Discord that he adjusted the chef's starting funds from 1,600 to 2,500, but the starting funds are still 1,600 on my end. So after these changes were made, I can now see two directions for the players to go into. Players have the ability to open their restaurants as early as the third in-game day if they choose to be a rôtisseur. Oh my god, my French, non-existent. Ugh.
So in English, rôtisseur, rôtisseur.
If they choose to be a rôtisseur, since you get an appetizer and two main courses that have easily obtainable ingredients, allowing you to operate as a restaurant. And the appetizer and one of the main courses both need the grill, so you only need to buy one appliance, saving you money that you can allocate to hiring a waiter. The other option players have, and something that I usually do, is collect as many ingredients and recipes and acquire funds to buy most of the appliances so that I can have a more well-rounded operation that includes many of these mouth-watering dishes. Oh my god, yum! The minigames are really fun for me so far. They're simplistic, but it always gives me the feeling that I'm cooking these scrumptious dishes and it makes me happy. It makes me happier when I get a high score after doing them because my brain's thinking, I made something extra tasty. And my competitive side comes out when I get a score that I need to improve. So yeah, the cooking minigames are fun and I rarely use auto cook because it's so satisfying to make the dishes. And I think that Potion Permit can learn a lesson or two from Chef RPG on how to make fun, simplistic minigames that are engaging. I still can't get over Potion Permit because it's such a game that has so much potential and it broke my heart. Anyways. Oh, hello there, how are you? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. Great talk, great talk. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to get to know the Lisekoya people right now. This is how they're coded at the moment. Relationships do progress in the game, but I'm not that invested in it yet because it's very hard to learn about the characters when they walk away from you mid-conversation. It will also be really nice if there's a cute relationship indicator like hearts or smileys next to the NPC. But of course, these things are yet to come. I understand. Hunting and gathering takes some learning, just like with everything in life of course, but it took me more time than I'd like to admit to learn that hunting animals is not exclusive to just using the bow and arrow. In fact, using the staff or spear is more efficient because with the bow, it takes me half a day to hunt an elk and sometimes they get away with just a pixel of health. It was a hard-earned lesson that the staff is more efficient in dealing with me, so there's that. The seasonal ingredients you can gather in the wild is not implemented yet, so the same fruits and veggies will be available for harvest throughout the first 3 seasons, but come winter, the ecosystem is barren so no fruit and veggies are available to forage. Even the crabs disappeared, so I guess it's time to get my counterpart, Gordon Ramsay, for some deep sea diving.
The size of the thing!
Good size, actually.
And look at her. Beautiful.
Time also flows differently in each season. You can really feel this during the winter solstice because the sun is very late to rise. Do you guys want to go on an exciting adventure with me? It's so cute. I like it. This happens when you have full inventory, but I really love it because it looks like you have an item that is following you around and it's very cute with the egg. So yeah, I enjoy it very much. Speaking of time, a significant issue that I have with the game is that the time continues to flow when you're shopping. It's a huge downside because players would like to be able to think about their purchases, especially in the beginning of the game or when buying expensive items for the restaurant like decor or appliances. Yes, you can go in knowing what you'll buy, but many times you'll also weigh if you should buy more or something different. This also causes pressure to buy quickly, and sometimes I bought the wrong stuff because I was in a hurry, and this is where an "Are you sure?" prompt will be very helpful to avoid unintended purchases. Time moving during shopping also makes the game less relaxing, especially when there's no mode of transportation or fast travel in the game yet, and you feel like you're moving through sticky goo. I know that the sprite animations have been improved, but I think it can be a bit more dynamic as it still appears a bit stilted. This was something that a viewer brought up in my previous video about Chef RPG, and I do agree. Anyways, I'm thankful that they added the feature to show the character you need to submit quests to on the map because it was a struggle without it before. However, it was super confusing trying to track them. Holy, because when I cross the threshold to another part of the map, when I check the map again, they're in a different spot already. And I'm like, how? How are they teleporting like this? So now, me trying to figure out how I can get to them sends a chunk of my day down the drain again. There's a glitch with the recipe collection mechanic where some of them you've already unlocked, but you won't know until you unlock them for the second time. It doesn't even tell you which ingredient, it just says recipe already unlocked, and this is especially frustrating when you bought the recipe from the shop. But the devs immediately worked on a fix for this by refunding the money you spent from the duplicate recipe. So, yay! Thanks, developers! There are more quality of life elements that would be very helpful, like an inventory sorting button, as well as being able to transfer items between inventories in batches instead of the entire inventory. This is already implemented in shopping where shift plus right-click purchases a batch of 10. Now, if they can implement that when transferring items from my backpack to stuff like cabinets and fridges, it will be very helpful for evenly distributing ingredients across the restaurants you run. And that's where wrapping up Chef RPG for now. It is an ongoing case that we're keeping an eye on, so keep your eyes peeled for the updates. From what I've seen so far, I'm optimistic about the game, and I wish the devs luck in bringing their vision to life while also taking suggestions from the community into consideration, which is something that we really appreciate. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Take care of yourself and those around you. I'm sending you warm, prickly hugs, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!
You'll see the difference now. If we change it, you'll know how. Nothing ever stays the same. Once